Okay, so a couple of days ago I picked up a little 3-in-1 jump starter power supply from Harbor Freight. 12 volts, 17 amp hour, 330 cranking amps, 41 1/8 inch jumper cables, and the cables are about 6 AWG. Okay, on the front we have a work light, a flashing, a battery status / USB activating light. I gave it about 48 hours, which is what it said to charge it the first time. It said when it goes down that it could take up to 30 hours to recharge. Since we got the USB on, let's go ahead and put a meter on that. Okay, it's coming in at 5.02 volts. And nobody ever wants to know the voltage. They always have the same question. Will it charge a phone? Okay, get my phone back to the home screen here. And yes, it does bring up the charge light on my iPhone 6. I was messing around with this thing just a little bit before we got started, but I didn't know that I messed around with it enough to go from green to yellow. It is interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and unplug that. And let's put the meter to the jump starter cables. Ah, it recovered. It went back to green. Apparently it just didn't like that I'd been messing with it a little bit here lately. Okay, sure got a good grip on those. And let's turn that on. I'll bring that down to a meter. The battery is reading at 12.69, 12.7. I think it leveled out at 12.7, 12.71. So yes, it will charge a phone. But any little battery does decently on a phone. So let's see if it'll bring up my charge indicator on a tablet. Because tablets take the 2.1 amps usually to show charging. And I plugged in the tablet. And it is showing charging. Alright. And now that's all well and good, but how about something a little more interesting? A 100 watt inverter. It did come with an extension cord and on the back of it, it has a flip out style spot where you can plug the battery up to charge. So any extension cord would charge it if you lose the one that came with it. A lot of the older jumper packs had their own special little power supply. You had to maintain that thing for the life of the battery, or you'd end up with a battery you couldn't charge. So yeah, I just plugged this TV into this little battery. I'm not sure what that little purple line was on the screen. It did not show up in person, though it did show up on the camera. Sorry about that, I had to take off for a minute or two. I didn't know where my remote was. I'll obviously end up shortening this video some. We're not going to sit here and watch the entire movie together, but just a nice little test of a battery is to run a small inverter and run something like a TV. Of course, that TV has a built-in DVD player, so it'll take a little more power than some.
Wife. God, is she hot. Look at that rack. There's a downhill lie for you. Oh, they're just out there begging to be touched, pleading. How many golf balls do you think she can fit in her mouth? I'd hit that one in the rough, if you know what I'm saying. Who are you kidding, Greg? You'd pork her for a week and then get tired of her. Yeah, you're right. That's what I do. That's my thing.
Okay, it's 6:28 p.m. and I'm just going to go ahead and watch this for a while.
What are we going to do now?
And I'll come back to you.
We can light some candles and read.
Okay, so 2 movies later, you go ahead and stop that one. Eject it. And let's spare the battery any more torture. The meter back out. And it's still at 12.13 and it's now 8:58. We started at what, 6:28, so 7:28, 8:28, 2.5 hours. Not bad for a small 12-volt battery. I could continue to go on down till it reached near 12 even, but I think that's about as much as I want to put it through tonight. Decent little battery pack.